याद है जब 1996 में माइकल जैक्सन इंडिया आया था? मैं तब 2 साल का था, पर कहते हैं कि उसकी सिर्फ एक झलक पाने के लिए लोग बेताब थे। क्या आपको लगता है कि आने वाली बायोपिक उन आइकॉनिक पलों को रिक्रिएट करेगी? फिंगर्स क्रॉस्ड। Michael chronicles and brings to life the illustrious chapters and diverse phases of the late king of pop, wherein the film is directed by Antoine Fuqua and produced by Graham King, who notably produced Bohemian Rhapsody, which was unarguably one of the greatest real-life musical projects to be ever rendered. Now, the makers have released a teaser and a trailer for the film, wherein the former lays forth its preliminary grounds with the quite rhythmic and surreal vibe of an indoor studio setting, wherein the late musical figure seems to be sleeving and gearing up for the given task that needs to be adhered to, as the dominating graphical layouts of Lionsgate and Universal seems to be complemented by a friendly exchange that transpires in the backdrop that seems to settle out its opening penalty with an instructive cue. As the same voice that seems to be commentating as well as conversing through the course of the trailer's initial threads that has jumped onto the trajectory of a more explanatory stage, as the steadily steering anchor seems to address the central character on honoring the legacy of his rich past and embracing the highly promising path of his awaiting future. Now, the teaser beautifully finds and blends the highly colorful collages of his musical journey as it takes and sails us through the highly awe-worthy and sought-after times of his immense peak, as the teaser here seems to splendidly scale itself onto the sheets of a maximum at a boiling intensity, as the teaser terrifically drops down the deep depths of its diverse footage and rests it onto the shores of a smoothly streaming shot before brilliantly jumping back onto the boards of a visually versatile and a skillfully symmetrical string. The makers have also released a trailer that begins its exquisite excursion on the notes of a vast attendance, as the trailer then craftily combines the magical and the musical aura of his melodic being, along with locking and laying it out with the marvelousness of his memorable movements, as the trailer seems to be stupendously soaring, along with the articulation of an optimistically motivating and presumably a self-acknowledging speech. Now, the trailer here quite powerfully portrays and paints out the foremost years of the late king's brief yet a highly impactful life, which included a packed series of those historically etched events, when it quite polishedly pens out the stats of his humble beginning, while taking us to the tallest thresholds of his tremendous heights through the immersive interim of his iconic screen. Now, the makers have also released some posters for the film that quite compellingly carpets and magnetically canvases out the ingeniousness of his creatively carved and an unparalleled artistic library. The lead role of Michael Jackson is played by his real-life nephew Jaffar Jackson, when the film will mark his on-screen film debut. Director Antoine Fuqua noted that Jaffar's resemblance and ability to channel Michael's spirit killed it from day one of rehearsals. The production filmed at Michael's actual former home Neverland Ranch, which was restored specifically for the movie. Iconic scenes like the Thriller dance were recreated on the original Union Pacific Avenue location where the 1983 music video was shot. Performance scenes utilize Michael Jackson's actual studio vocal recordings rather than a singer mimicking him, ensuring vocal authenticity. Costume designer Marky Rogers worked with original parents, exact rhinestone counts, and some of Michael's former tailors to recreate his legendary stage outfit. The film's runtime is projected to be approximately 3.5 hours, featuring over 30 songs from Jackson's landmark catalog. While Jaffar was a natural fit for adult Michael, the search for young Michael involved over 1,200 auditions worldwide before Giuliano Cruvaldi was selected. To recreate the off-the-wall era, production restored the exterior of the iconic Tower Records to its exact 1979 layout. Jaffar Jackson was spotted filming a scene atop a limousine at the AT&T Center in Los Angeles, wearing a recreation of the outfit Michael wore at the 1983 Victory Tour press conference. The cast includes Miles Teller as attorney John Branca, Derek Luke as Johnny Cochran, and Kate Graham as Diana Ross. The choreography for the film is led by the Talayuga brothers, who were Michael's actual dancers during his later tours. They served as movement specialists to help Jaafar Jackson master subtle MJism like the finger snaps and specific hip thrust timing. To prepare for the role, Jaafar Jackson reportedly spent over a year in rigorous dance and vocal training. He practiced performing the Billie Jean moonwalk in every direction, forward, backward, and sideways to match his uncle's live rehearsal style. Antoine Fuqua revealed he was inspired to take the project after seeing private rehearsal footage of Jaffar, stating that the way he turned his head and moved his hands was uncannily like Michael. To ensure the brothers looked authentic, the actors playing the Jackson 5 underwent a boot camp where they learned to harmonize and perform the signature 1970s choreography in unison. The film that was initially slated for its intended release on April 18, 2025 was moved to October 3, 2025 following production delays from the 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike. The film was then finally pushed to April 24, 2026 to accommodate 22 days of additional photography in June 2025 and significant edits to the third act. The film now is eventually and hence scheduled for a wide theatrical and IMAX release on April 24, 2026. The film also has a major international premiere lined up in its store leading up to the film's release, as the former of the two events is set for its Berlin showcase on April 10, 2026, which is in fact 2 weeks prior to its global theatrical rollout. The king whose skin surfaces to portray and sing. Hey guys, if you like my video, you can click on the like and share button, and you can also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss a. Let's come together and celebrate the magic of movies.